Starfield continues to prove itself as a game where you truly need to mess around to find some features that will ultimately change your entire gameplay experience, and well, we have just that. After 220 hours, a Starfield player has just found a feature that the devs actually added into the game that changes a lot. We also have the first dynamic weather system added into the game, what 180 hours worth of collecting succulents looks like, as well as a huge oversight / lost opportunity that almost everyone agrees with. Now don't forget, Instant Gaming has Starfield for a whopping 26% off, which is an amazing deal, so check the link below before that price goes back up, but more on that later. If you can leave a like, it helps a ton, but turn that into a dislike if you get to the end and did not enjoy the video. So first up, for anyone wondering, this is exactly what 180 hours worth of collecting succulents actually looks like. It's exactly what you see in the background. Now, a user on Reddit who goes by the name Big Booty Tom said, for anyone wondering, this is what 180 hours worth of collecting succulents actually looks like. Now, someone added, and I quote, "There needs to be a mod that allows you to eject cargo like this in the middle of a space battle. Enemy missiles ultimately lock on and you just dump hundreds of whatever random junk you have been collecting into space as chaff." Now, someone else also suggested, and again I quote, "Then after defeating whatever evil foes you do, a dinky little UC traffic enforcement ship just pops out of nowhere and then gives you a fine for littering." Now, I love this idea. I'm keen to know what you guys think. Do you want to see something like that? Let me know in the comment section below. Now, the frustration is rising for Starfield, in particular with certain things going on in the game. In this case, we're talking about food and meds, and it's where someone has mentioned, "I'm begging you, separate food and meds. I can't stand how food is just lumped with meds. I know they are both technically aid in some fashion, but it's simply the worst to have them grouped like this." Now, someone also added to this, which I thought was actually a very valid point, and again, what it says, I quote, "And ship parts. They should be transferred straight to your ship. You can't even use them from your inventory." Now, all of these small things do make a lot of sense, and I really feel like the current stage that Starfield is at, which a lot of people are currently agreeing with, is we're probably going to see some sort of a bigger change, right, when it comes down to that first big update, aka the DLC. And ultimately, what we really have, despite it being a great product and finished product, is almost like a beta, because we just know that they are listening to the community. But then of course it just becomes a matter of, okay, well, what is going to change and to what extent? Now, a feature added into this game that not everyone is actually aware of, and well, once you discover it, it's going to change a lot. A dynamic weather system added into the game, and a huge oversight / lost opportunity that almost everyone agrees with, which is what I'm going to be covering in just a moment, because what is also crazier than all of that, in a good way, is the amazing deals that Instant Gaming has on right now. And today's video is sponsored by Instant Gaming, the site that gives you the best and hottest games out right now for up to 70% off on any platform instant, no pun intended. For example, you can get Hogwarts Legacy right now for 27% off, not to mention the deluxe edition for 25% off. But it's not just games that are out, you can also save yourself a bunch of money on pre-orders too. The best part of it all is it's just a simple click to order, head out to the checkout, and in a matter of minutes the code for the game on whatever platform you chose would have landed in your mailbox ready for you to download, and they even have support available 24/7. One thing that I have to say I love the most, however, is the variety. From PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and even even Nintendo, the catalogue of games they have is truly extensive. Now you can get PSN cards as well at, you guessed it, a discount. So check out Instant Gaming and use my code to save yourself even more right now. The link is in the description below. So CCharge3132 posted something on Reddit that has fans both excited and annoyed at the same time, and it's about a hidden feature that, well, was right in front of us. Now the post says, and I quote, 220 hours in, and I just learned that you can manipulate people into opening locked containers for you. Now, tons of people were totally unaware of this, especially if you've actually skipped the dialogue in the game, including myself, and it is just all in an amazing feature. It also begs the question on how many more quote-unquote undiscovered elements does this game truly have that ultimately feel, I guess, obvious to some, but actually, well, it's not. I'm keen to know your thoughts on this in particular, but also other things that you feel you have spotted that not everyone will actually know about. Let me know in the comments below. Now, why can I add a medbay to my ship, but I can't use it to cure ailments or heal myself? What's the point? It just seems like a huge oversight / lost opportunity. Another post made in the mythical lands of Reddit. Now, some do have mixed opinions, considering most things. I guess really what we can just categorize this into is that majority of the things do actually feel more aesthetic than anything else as far as that goes, but somebody did say, and I quote again because I thought it was a really valid point, that none of these ship habs actually do anything aside from giving passengers space and crew space. But what's the point of having an engineering bay if it doesn't actually do anything for the ship? It kinda sucks. But I suspect a lot of things will be changed when the first DLC comes out, and then they said what I mentioned earlier, which is that Starfield as is now should actually just be viewed as a beta if we're being brutally honest. And again, it's a great beta, we're looking at it in that perspective because everything's amazing in the game, but we also know that the longevity aspect of this game is truly what the community can do to it, right? From a mod standpoint, but also what the devs can actually do themselves and then roll it out in the update so that every single person does actually have access to that and not just people that can download mods, for example. Now that leads me on to the next thing, which is that Starfield now has a dynamic weather mod. So a modder who goes by the name Ainsley, I hope I pronounced that correctly, has released a really cool mod for Starfield that introduces to the game a dynamic weather system. Now it changes the weather automatically as you play, even allowing new weather variations in different climates / biomes. Now the dynamic weather mod will actually activate automatically in game, allowing the weather to change on the fly as you play. Now this mod allows a huge variation in weather cycles, even in areas that don't allow that climate. As such, you can expect to see thunderstorms, sandstorms, rain, snow, and just beautiful sunny variations as a whole. And also what the mod does come with is 3 variations, so you have slow, medium, and fast, and slow transitions are for people who basically just like longer weather transitions. Medium is the average and the recommended version, but it's pretty self-explanatory in terms of the pacing of that, and then faster is for people who want the weather to, of course, just change a lot quicker than usual. But it's a great mod and it looks fantastic as well. So when you hear things like this and you see things like this as well, it really does just kind of make you pause for a moment and realize that, okay, there are so many other elements that this game can truly benefit from. But again, are we talking just mods or are we actually talking things that roll out in an update? It is very, very exciting because we know that the official support for mods will actually happen from next year, I believe. But again, we're talking about that big update that they've promised themselves as well. So there is a lot in the pipeline in that regard. But Starfield has had a very big change in general. What am I talking about? Well, check out the video that you see on screen right now because it's all to do with that last update that rolled out with some incredible changes.